You're now listening to the Beardy Bros podcast.
Yeah, the chicken was like just
Talk about the
garbage.
burrito.
It was like
It's that bad. You don't want to talk about.
it was a mixed beef and chicken burrito, but the chicken was like dry and burnt. It was disgusting. Like it looked horrible. It was so chewy, and I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm like, "This isn't chicken." I was
It's
like,
horrible, man.
"Oh," I was like, I just thinking about it makes me uncomfortable, and I can still taste the burrito. I'm like,
I
"Oh."
mean, that's burrito wasn't bad. Just chicken, right?
Well, it ruined the whole burrito.
Oh,
Cause just
yeah.
it
Burnt
was
chicken's not bad. But how the fuck did I
It
mess
was
that
like
up?
it's like it was so chewy. It was like chomping on
Yeah,
fucking
but
plastic. It was bits, and it was like bits of it scattered
that
through the
must have
thing.
been like not anything near fresh chicken.
No, that's exactly it. I was spitting it out every time I kept taking a bite. Like ew, and spit it out, and like ew, and I kept spitting it out.
Nasty, man.
It's disgusting. So I like reported. I was like, and I sent photos. I'm like, this is the fucking meat. Look at it. It looks fucking
Was it?
disgusting.
Did it look like chicken at least?
No.
So it's like a grey, blacky.
Oh, it was like a weird
It's
beige.
probably off, man.
That's disgusting.
Probably like a week or two old. They're just like, let's chuck it in.
But getting me like I posted on Twitter earlier because I was just thinking about when I ordered. And it's kind of disgusting these days. I mean, I don't know why we do it, especially if you're stuck at home like me, because we've all got COVID. So we haven't been able to go anywhere. So it actually came inconvenience. Like we normally order takeaway anyway. Like
Yeah.
it's easier convenient, but like it made sense to actually order
It's
takeaway
convenient when you
because
just go, I can't be fucked. Just boom.
and like well let's just do it because
Or you
like
can't
it's just
leave.
hard. So this one time it kind of came in handy. I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. Um, And yeah, and it's just disgusting. It's just like, but like thinking that though, like how expensive like ordering through like Uber Eats and stuff like that is because you think about it now, where it's come to now. Because it made me think even more because the dude asked for me like leave me a rate and give me a tip, and they do that a lot too now. They like leave a rating and give me a tip, and it's like why are they
Is that the
asking
driver or the person, the
the
piece who cooked
delivery?
it?
They're the driver.
Well, that's not bad. Like,
No, but like I can understand where they're coming from. But like where it's at these days, you now pay like I mean it doesn't seem like much, but still like how much are they getting from Uber Eats themselves? Because you're paying a $3.99 delivery fee. Then
it's
you're
just sort of
paying
fuel, really.
yeah, because like it used to be originally when you order from Uber Eats, you paid the surcharge on the items, which is like a 10% surcharge on the items. Because normally you buy a Happy Meal, which is like maybe $5 if you were to go there. If you order through Uber
Yeah.
Eats, it's like $7 or $8. So it's a little you're paying for that on your items anyway. You're paying like a couple of dollars more on your items,
Hmm.
and it's like okay, so you're paying like a 10% surcharge fee on your each item you're buying. Then you're paying $3.99 for delivery. Then you're paying the service fee, which is anywhere between $1 to $4. And then now when you order, there's no option now to say I want it just like if you want to share the delivery because before you could choose if you
Oh,
to make your delivery fee cheaper, you could choose to share your order with someone else.
with another few
So
orders
yeah,
going
so you
round.
could get your order split, so then you would pay less on the delivery fee. No, if you want to get that's now apparently how it is your orders by default are shared if that person's picking up orders. To get your own order, you got to pay $2.50 to make it directly just you. And then the
But
driver
does it make a difference doing that though? Like just you or the shared one? Does it
like
make a
that's what
difference?
I mean. It's like why are they charging an extra $2.50 just to have it directly to you when before it was cheaper if you shared it with someone.
But
And
then
they
again, it's just that one order though, like just to you. So I guess it makes sense. But like,
but like
wouldn't shared be more because they're doing more?
that's why the share would be split. So technically, your delivery fee was cheaper because you were sharing that delivery fee with other
Yeah,
people.
it depends how many people there are though. Like who fucking order? There could be
But that's
like
what
10 people.
I mean. So how it used to be was say three orders were being picked up and the delivery fee is normally the $4. That would be split between the three orders, the three different people that are
Yeah,
doing
so a dollar
deliveries.
something.
So yeah, but now no matter what, if your order's being because it happened a while back with one of our orders and it came here cold, it was
Oh, I heard
being
it. Yeah, you told me
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
it was
One of
in
the potty.
it was in the list with like a few other orders. We're
Mm.
still paying the $3.99 plus the service fee, and it's like I'm still paying no difference, and yet my thing's being cured with other orders, and it's taking longer to get here. Like, why am I having to pay? You know what I mean? Like, it makes no sense these days. I'm like, they're really getting greedy. And I'm like, at the end of the day, how much are these drivers being paid? Like, are they being
Probably a
shafted?
shit ton. That's why they're taking their time.
Like, I don't know. It's weird because, like, I mean,
Because if you're not getting enough, you wouldn't be there.
yeah, I mean, I know there's those bonus offers they try to promote. I know one of them was trying to promote when you did so many deliveries, you got like a bonus, a couple of $100 and stuff in your pay and stuff if you did so many deliveries in the first month and stuff. And I was very curious about it at first, but like, it's just funny sometimes when they like, because as well as funny because I got the photo like taken of like, here's your order, and it's like, and don't forget to rate and tip, and it's just like, okay, like, I'll see how I go.
You should be an Uber driver, Des.
I feel a bit pushy
Food
when they're
Uber Eats,
asking
not Uber driver.
Uber driver. Hello, Uber
You
driver
should be Uber Eats
outside.
driver.
But like,
Uber driver. Beep beep, motherfucker.
beep beep. But like, it feels a bit off when they're asking for tips. Like, I'll give tips if I feel like the person deserves the tip. Like, there's one dude one time who came and delivered it, and he straight up looked like, it was funny because he looked like an introverted gamer. But like, he was doing Uber Eats because he was so awkward when he came and delivered it, and he was like, "Here's your order," but then he got awkward and he didn't like he like, you know, when if you're delivering, you here's your order, you drop it off and then you go.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Here's your order," and then he stopped and he was like he wanted to have a conversation, but then he was confused at what he was doing, and I'm like, "Okay, cool, thank you." And then I was like, "Yeah," and he's just like very awkward, like he didn't know what to do. Like, I don't know if he
That's
knew it
funny.
this or not, and he's just like. But he had like the typical like shirt, like gamer style, like attire, like how we dress and stuff. Like you could tell the little car he had as well. It was like very typical like gamer, like
A little Corolla kind of thing. Like,
yeah. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is great. But it was just so funny. And I gave him a tip. I was like, fuck yeah, like dude, homie G, like I know you're a gamer, you're a fellow nerded dude. Like fuck yeah, you're gonna get tip from me, bro. Like I was like, nah, fuck yeah, you're down for it. Fuck
because some are just dicks when they deliver your shit. They just sometimes they don't notify you or anything.
And that's exactly it.
They
So,
just leave it, and it's like, how long's that been out there?
yeah, they won't say anything, and then sometimes I'll take photos or.
Well, they take the food from you. They take things out of it,
Mm.
as you've seen on like YouTube and that. Like,
Oh, some of them
people
just
do
fell.
do that.
It's just crazy.
They get
how
a
it
fork
happens.
and they try and smooth it out as well. Like they didn't touch it. Like they just eat it, and they like just try and move it around, and
It's
it's
ridiculous.
just dirty. So you guys got to check
I don't know. Really,
before you get into it. You fucking check it.
always. One of the worst times that ever happened was when we ordered from McDonald's and they forgot the whole Happy Meal. I was like, how do you
Oh.
forget a whole Happy Meal? Like, they forgot a whole. They gave us the juice for the Happy Meal, but they forgot the whole Happy Meal. Like,
But don't forget that's in the orders. Like that's from so many different people making a damn order.
but it's just like
Because one
who-
does the juice, one gets the box ready, one does
Yeah.
like a burger, one does the chips. Like
I gave
they
up
probably
on it
just
at the end. I
missed
ended
the
up ordering another
whole
one. I
thing
called
completely.
them. It was a pain in the ass because Jack got upset that time, and I was like, okay, we called them up and had to deal with it. And it was like, oh, fine, here's your code, and just reordered another one. And I think the code's somewhere, or we lost it or something. But I gave up. I was like, it's
That's
only.
two we didn't get.
Yeah, so we got one. It was
Damn,
open there.
Des.
No, we got the other one coming. That was alright. So that was alright in the end. But yeah, so
Yeah, but two he would have like, yeah.
Tec-
Oh,
So he got one in the end, which was good, but it was just annoying. They refunded
Right.
us. What they ended up doing was they refunded us I think they refunded us X amount because they forgot it, and then they gave us a code to be able to claim another one next time. And then I was like, fuck, let's just reorder it. So I just ordered a Happy Meal and spent delivery. So I paid an Uber Eats just for one Happy Meal because I was like, nah, my kid's having a fucking Happy Meal and he's gonna have it. So I was like, let's just order
Right.
that and just get delivered. So
I
I
mean,
mean, a pain in the ass.
it's just hard to do that because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So
Like I've only Uber Eats once, and that was pizza.
yeah. I mean, that's why I
And it
just go
was-
straight through them. Usually, I just go straight through like the pizza, like Pizza Hut or Domino's themselves directly.
Well, this was up the road, like a fair. It wasn't too
Is it
far, but it
local?
was just like
Like a
Yeah.
local pizza. Yeah, yeah.
no, not here. I was in Hobart, and it's like I want a pizza. I'm going to Uber Eats for once, and then there it is. I'm like,
Maniacal madman. Order a pizza.
I ordered like one or two pizzas. That's it. It's just like, bam, done. Give me a pizza. Yeah. The dude was pretty chill.
That's alright then. Do I have my?
Like they actually do get out of the car and like because I was waiting outside, but he still got out and like went round to the passenger side, picked it up and all that. Like, you could have just went, "Here you go, see ya."
Yeah.
But like, he did everything and then had a chat, then just said, "Okay, I've got to run back." And off we went.
That
Oh,
happens.
thanks, pizza time.
Pizza time.
Yeah, because I was middle of streaming. I'm like, I'm gonna Uber Eats this shit.
That's exactly it. It's easy that way.
It's too easy. It's too easy.
But anyway.
You don't realize how much you spend on food if you can Uber Eats every fucking day.
Oh,
Like,
it's expensive. That's what I was saying. Like, it adds up.
depends what you get. Like, get Chinese. That's cheap because you get a week's worth of food for like $100.
You can, yeah. Rice, you can. Free kick.
As long as you get an Uber Eats, it's like, well, I'm done for the week or two.
Yeah. All right. I gotta readjust that.
Not that I would, because that's just filthy. Because after a certain amount of time, shit goes bad.
It does. But segue from that into the intro. Very robotic.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Hello, this is the hot.
This is the what?
What's up, Beardies and Beardates? Welcome back to another fine episode of the Beardy Bros podcast.
I can't do the whole. Oh god, dang! I'm sitting.
You can't do that. Woo-woo!
I can't do
It
it.
feels weird because you're sitting.
I can do this now.
So I don't know if you noticed already or not, but I unironically have matched myself. I don't know if you noticed. So I've got my cyberpunk shirt on, my samurai, and I unintentionally, when I was getting my my cup for my tea, I got my
Cyberpunk plug again. Here we go.
I got my samurai mug that matches the shirt that has samurai on the front, the back of that, and
Samurai. My Cyberpunk box could be in. I could put it roughly over there, and it could be in the next one.
yeah. I don't know.
So at least we've got one per episode.
I know, it's because mine's buried behind there somewhere. I still need to get another shelf, but I haven't been able to go anywhere, so I can't get another bookshelf.
Online, bro. Uber Eats a shelf.
It's a shelf.
Can you imagine? It's like, can I get a shelf? What?
Shelf.
A shelf. An elf on a shelf.
Sir, how do you want that delivered? I want it directly mine. That's just shellfish!
I bet say fucking shellfish.
Shellfish. Don't be
Have you noticed when you accidentally almost say shellfish or something like
Shellfish.
shellfish,
Shellfish.
selfish, like they go selfish, bruh. But no, English is fucked. English is bad. Like there are words that shouldn't be a thing.
What did Larry the lobster say to Peely the prawn?
Who that?
When he didn't want to share his seaweed.
You're welcome. I don't fucking know.
Don't be so shellfish.
Fuck.
It's so bad.
I should have known that. Fucking hell.
We walked back into the same joke, just in a different way.
Yeah.
It's the same joke, just redone.
My brain didn't click. I overthink it.
It's so bad. Oh, that was like the thing. It just reminded me when I was thinking of bad jokes because I've been playing Dragon Ball Kakarot, and just when you come across bloody King Kai, and he's just got the bad jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh my god, like they're so dumb.
I mean, they're not bad. They're more like dad jokes. Really.
Yeah, they're very basic dad jokes, and I just love it. Just like playing that moment. It's just like.
But yet no one says a thing. They all look at him like, huh. They would just like stare at him.
Goku's just like, and Kai's like, why aren't you laughing? These are, and he's like, oh, okay.
Can you imagine in the fucking studio though? Because he does both voices. It's fun.
Telling jokes to himself.
What if he does at the same time, like both voices?
Sometimes they do.
Like have him come over between himself, like he just jumps between. Like imagine doing that and actually laughing. Like he just does it, just starts cracking up.
Because sometimes they'll do takes where they'll record the dialogue script and they'll go through it, and then what they'll do is they'll record it straight, being both characters, like in the one take, and then they'll do it. But when you're doing it, you'll focus more as like Goku one take. So you'll read out the lines and then you'll flip it again and you'll read the lines, but then you'll focus on the other character and you read through the lines and then they cut it up and then they can mash it to time it right together. And then they go, this sounded
That's a
better
lot
here.
of animated stuff,
There's
really.
a lot of stuff for voicing. Animations, like, you already did the animation, that's the take, and it's just dubbing it, so it's
Yeah.
it's different.
Because half the people you talk to, like, you read in the interviews and that, they don't meet another character. Like, they don't meet another actor, their
No.
actress. They don't meet anyone. It's just they do their lines and leave.
Yep, because they have all. Because basically, when you got those movies, they're already animated. Usually, half the time they're animated, and or even it's just a raw animation, and then they can see they'll have it play, so then they can act it like
Yeah.
see how they're acting, and then they know how to act with it. Sometimes,
And then they put on the facial effects afterwards because it's got to match their voices.
yeah, and that's why they learn from it. Or sometimes they got to imitate what the animation is doing. Or
But that'd be that hard because you're reacting to just someone on the opposite side just saying they're talking the line. Could be anything, and it's just a monotone thing.
sometimes, well, that's the thing. Sometimes you've got either like the audio that's already been recorded, so you're reacting to the audio that's been recorded.
Or someone's like this, do this, do this.
Yeah, and you're just reading from the script, straight from the script. Sometimes you have the social key, so you have the animation. Sometimes you don't even have any animation. You're just in a booth. There's nothing else there, and it's just you reading the lines and someone going, try it with a little bit more emotion, try it with more anguish, disgust, sad, and that kind of stuff. Like
A bit of gusto, bit of everything.
because I was like when Ryan Reynolds did the behind the scenes.
Oh, you know,
for-
the little box thing.
Yeah, he was in the little camera, so they get the emotion like that stuff, and he's doing the different things, like say it's sad. He's like, so they can mocap the
Because
face.
it was over exaggerated so they can play with it.
Yeah, and I was like, that's cool. It's like it's cool we're seeing more of that now. What they do, people are getting more aware of what is happening. So because people still think it's so easy to do some of these things, it's like it's not. Like this is the work they're going
I
through.
mean, even like the people doing it for years still just takes effort.
We've just
You
perfected
can't
it.
just you can't just turn up and do it. Like
Nope.
I mean, you can. Some
It's just
people
it's just
can, but
making
like
it more streamlined. Everything that's happening nowadays
Yeah.
with everything is just streamlined, which makes it easier.
plus
But
you can do it
do
from home now because they've got all the stuff they need on their own PCs. They just record it at home and send it off.
So again, I'll just let everyone know. So as you were, I'm sick. So I do apologise if you hear me coughing a fair bit through this episode as well. I will try and stay away from the mic. Hopefully, it will cut out half the times as well. So just be prepared, everyone that is listening.
Be prepared.
I did that. I had to do that with some of the I uploaded a Let's Play video to YouTube, and I had to go through and like cut some of the scenes where I'm like, because it's like moments where I cough and nothing's really happening, so I've had to cut out the video so it doesn't look awkward of me coughing, because I'm just there going, like in the middle of
Remember
the gameplay.
someone just watching? It's like this is cool. Like,
So that's they're gonna get it at some point, so it's gonna happen at some point. But I have noticed it does seem to cut out a little bit when I do cough, so
no one's
I'm trying
perfect.
I'm trying not to breathe too much. That's causing the deep.
Try not to breathe too much. Just passes out from lack of oxygen.
Not like that, but you know what I mean. That's why I think teas.
Podcast over? Because I can't end it.
Oh god, so we got a bit of news through the week here, and we've got some stuff. We got one topic we want to talk about as well. We not really much of a topic, but it's just something that we kind of came up with that I wanted to play around with Jim with.
Was that the thing before that I was talking about?
So
Yeah,
I thought-
I'm going to say my mind was blown. I'm like, oh.
yeah. So I mean, we can get into that one bit of news first to get the sad news out the way.
Yes.
Yes, if you wanna.
Mike Haggerty passed away recently. In the last few days or
Last
something,
couple of
I think.
days, which was a bit of a shocker.
Yeah, well, I think everyone known him from Friends as the building.
He'd been in
Forgot what he was.
He'd been in a lot of things. That's the thing as well. He'd been in a lot of things.
I
But
said
he was
you seen him in what was it?
Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget.
I
yeah, he
watched
played
that
the
like henchman. He was thingy the Claw's henchman.
yeah,
But like
the one who was always dumb.
yeah, like I only just watched that yesterday,
That's
and I was
crazy, isn't
like,
it?
oh, well, we watched that, and I'm like, hear this today, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like some weird ESP. It's like freaking. It's
2022,
it happens.
man.
It happens. I mean, like I said, I had that dream about bloody Gilbert Godfrey, and then look what happened there.
Please
ESP.
don't dream anymore.
ESP's on a weird friggin'.
Please don't watch any more movies anymore.
I'm sorry.
Everyone's freaking dying, bro.
I'm
What
sorry.
have you done?
I'm sorry.
No, it's just
Just
when he
coincidence, crazy coincidences.
he wasn't even that. I mean, he was still pretty young, like 67.
Yeah, I was gonna say 67. It's crazy. That's
But condolences to the family and friends of him.
yeah.
That's rough.
That's just it is crazy. It's a shocker still.
Just anyone can just like you don't even hear about any health complications or nothing with these people.
No, there's always something usually.
Yeah, but like
They
nothing
kept it,
public. It's
they
just
kept it private
boom.
most of their
Yeah.
life. It's not till later on you find out that they had some problems, some kind of cancer or something. It always seems to be like the very obscure shit they've been dealing with or something. And
Yeah.
it's just like wow, like they've been dealing with that long.
Like we nearly lost Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul to a heart attack last year. Like
like that's it. But he was doing
What?
some crazy shit though. Like he was definitely pushing himself, but
Mm.
because he was doing like a lot of his own stunts and stuff. Like he was going hardcore. There's a moth on your thing too, a bug on your mic.
Hey,
He's choking away. So there's a bug land on top of your mic as well,
yeah, the fly went on top. There's a little fly buzzing around.
lingering around.
That soup went down the wrong channel.
Went down the wrong hole.
You know when you try and drink and then you suddenly just breathe in.
Yeah,
That happened, and
I've been understandable
People right now.
I'm feeling that a little bit at the moment.
and without even touching any of this,
Yeah, no, we haven't even gotten the rest of it yet. Which we got to figure out at some point.
or a
'Cause
major topic or anything, like nothing.
it's
I don't know.
well, it's what we do. It's what it is here at the Beardy Bros. We do great. We do great.
We do great. Greatness awaits.
so-
No, that's Sony's. Fuck.
So what I was gonna get into somewhat of a topic because we haven't really had topics per se for a while. I don't think really.
I think.
But you were talking about it earlier, and it's kind of funny. So I thought I don't know, I was gonna kind of go with it, and we're thinking of because you only found out that DC stood for Detective Comics, and I kind of went segueing. Yeah, you didn't realize, and that was always funny because they call it because they
I
themselves.
watched Corridor Digital, Corridor Crew,
Yep.
and they remade that new Batman trailer.
With Adam West.
Adam West. Yeah, I watched that.
It's so
I when
good.
he dances through the thing, like just dances through the whole way. Bullets.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm like, this would be a thing. They should make a whole. They should make that whole Batman movie with Adam West. Like do the whole thing.
Oh, that would be funny. That'd be hilarious. Well, that's like that new guy that they
It
got
would.
with him now. He used to work with Marvel.
I don't know who that is.
As one of the new guys. I
What?
can't remember his name, but yeah, he works with him now. And yeah, he used to be one of the special effects guys for Marvel. So he used to work for them, and now he's left them, and he's working with Corridor, which is interesting.
Oh, that's not Peter, is it?
No, it's there's that new bloke. He's that new bearded bloke guy. I can't remember his name.
I don't know who it
He was
is.
teaching Jordan Nuke.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's pretty damn cool. Though.
He did the scenes where he CG'd in the car over the old car in. That dude.
Oh, they come through the flame. Just.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, the guy
I
who
think I
did
know
that.
who you're talking about.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. He used to work. He was working with Marvel, and he left them. I guess I don't know if he's
He
exactly
left or
them.
got fired.
I don't know, but he's come to Corridor, so he's working.
I don't
with
reckon
Corridor
you'd
at the
just
moment.
leave. I
So-
like Marvel. Like you wouldn't just leave them.
There's a
Maybe his time was up. Maybe he had
don't
a
know.
contract that just expired.
yeah, because he said he did a lot of different special effects on different Marvel projects, and he kind of listed them. I was like, damn. But I mean, a lot of people
Right.
always had dreams to work with Corridor, and sometimes people like that. Sometimes they get, they would like to work for a company, but then they go somewhere else, and it could be better. But their dream job, their dream is always to work. You know what I mean? Sometimes people have
They've
it.
watched them for so long.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do this.
So sometimes you could have a goal set, and you have a certain goal criteria, but then sometimes you could do whatever you're doing, and the goal, like wherever you're heading, could be higher than the goal you want, but that's not what you wanted. even
You
though
wouldn't be
it's
happy
doing
if you did
better,
the other
you
one.
want to be happy. So even though he could be just saying, but he's able to get that, so you come to that because that's your dream, and you're now doing your dream. Sometimes that's the way it is. You do what makes you happy. So, but anyway, kind of podcast. Exactly it. But that's what people keep telling me. It's like, oh, make it. Like, it's not about money. That's if that gets to the point, hey, cool. But it's not about the money. This is fun. Like us sitting here and talking about stuff.
Hey, I'm usually doing nothing about this time. I mean,
Oh, people outside
oh,
drinking.
not really. I'm doing a lot of things, but like podcast comes first, man.
And that's exactly it. So we always look forward every time.
Oh,
We always look
fun.
forward for every Sunday. Sunday, weekend. What? What? I said every day of the weekend.
Friday, Sunday, and Saturday.
And the weekend. I said them individually and as a whole. I don't know where I was going. My brain's running off.
Sunday shouldn't be in the weekend. It's a new start.
Coming back to
of a
it.
new
Coming
week.
back. I'm going off track. I need to bring myself in. Whoosh.
That happens.
So I was looking at the DC comics. So it's kind of funny that DC themselves kind of refer themselves as DC Comics, which is kind of funny that it's technically Detective Comics, but that's not where we're really going.
I mean, it
Marvel
makes
stuff.
sense, but like, why?
But what I was gonna say, because Jim hasn't read any comics, have you? You've never
I read like Phantom and that. But that's about it.
Phantom. Yeah, that's like a independent or a Dark Horse or whatever it was, a independent company.
You get like Phantom a new show or something. Like, damn,
Right,
son.
like that IP's been like stale for so long. Like the old Phantom movie
Since
was
at
great.
least 80s, 90s.
Mm.
I think. Like, who even made? I don't really go into
Like the
it 'cause that'll
comics
be
still.
another sidetrack.
The comics are still being released today. Like it's crazy that they're still being
Mm.
printed, and they're still being printed in black and white too. Like, how are they still printing?
Oh.
Like, how are they still printing these things? Like, who's still creating these? How are they? Like, how do they still have stories? Like, are they just
Must be a
reprinting?
proper
like,
company because they must still have staff
Oh,
who's
it's
getting
like
up new ideas and.
it's like how can you get to a point now? Like they've been going for that long. What new stories could you have? Like, I feel like
Yeah,
that.
isn't Phantom one of the oldest comics?
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it? Like when you think that's
I
nowhere
gotta
near
get that
ending.
box. I bought a box from someone for like $50. I got like a whole box of Phantom comics. It was from a garage sale. I paid $50 for like 250 issues or something. I paid so much.
Damn.
Oh, I didn't pay so much.
Are
but
you
like,
gonna read them or just have them?
I just bought them because I was just like, fuck it, I'll buy it. I don't know if they're still in good condition or if they're damaged or I have no
I
idea.
mean, usually comic collectors they usually keep them in good condition.
Well, I don't know.
Depends who you had it.
I've had them in a box. I have no idea where my parents have put them. I don't know if they've been in the
No, it
weather.
depends how the owner had them before. They like if they had
Yeah.
kids
Oh,
who read them.
they were in good condition. No, they collected them themselves. They they were a collector as well. But once I've had them and I left to my parents to store them, I have no idea how my parents stored them. So I don't know how.
Bent. Imagine like the whole one, like the box is sat like that, and it's just like bent up or every comic.
I would hate. Well, it would hate if they got damaged from flood water or something stupid like that.
Yeah, because you can't really dry a comic.
No, not when it's just paper.
As soon as it's done, it's just gonna rip.
Yep. So I gotta find them at some point and go through them. But anyway, so the thing was, because because you're pretty fresh, which is interesting. Like, it's the closest thing we have to really get that feel or reference. I was gonna say now, because I was gonna say Marvel and DC when they came out back in the day, which was like what the 1960s, 50s, 60s. Like,
yeah, like Stan Lee and Dick Cole and all that.
Like, for us these days, like, we're used to crazy, wacky, sci-fi, like, thing. Like, we've grown up with them because they've been around, like, the 80s, since Star Wars kind of, 60s, 70s, and 80s more commonly. Like, that stuff's become... Because even when Star Wars came out, like, it was very, like, what is this? This is weird. Yeah, like, it's always been a very niche thing. And, like, back then, like, the comics
Now
around...
it's mainstream as hell.
And that's exactly it. Like, I guess the impact isn't as like nowadays as it was back then, because I know back then like it was
it would have been near fucking blasphemy to make stuff like that.
Comics were made during the war, so they were like paraphernalia, I guess, for people to read during the war to help. That it gave people things to be distracted by because you had your newspapers.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it all started. Like you had your newspapers and you kind of had little articles and stuff.
But
And
you had
that's
your
kind of,
comic in a newspaper too, like every now and again. You had your little comic, like just a page or something.
and that's where I
like,
think that's where it started from. Was from that kind of thing. And
well,
then
that was you had your Snoopy and
yeah,
what Asterix and
and they've been around. That's exactly it. So there's all these things. So
that's
the big,
old as well. Like, oof.
not exactly it. So the biggest thing being DC and Marvel, that the ones that have really taken off, become comic brands, and then being where they are now. But like compared to back then, which I mean we can't really compare, but like imagine just trying to imagine when these things came out back then, how like blasphemy they would have been. Like, what is this? Like, who imagine coming up with these ideas back then. Like
Well, they kind of did because Batman used to kill people back in the day,
yeah, he had guns and stuff. So I mean, I
and
know
then
they
they
changed
had
the comic
he
code,
was too violent, and
the ACC.
I don't want to say, but he liked men. Apparently, like they put him in that boat because of Robin in the same bed. I'm like,
yeah. That was that weird
but
thing.
like
It was the
they
ACC.
changed Batman, and now he's this a detective. Like,
Well, he was it was weird because he was
yeah, but
yeah.
before he killed, now he doesn't.
Yeah,
Like,
it was because the ACC. They said it
it
in the
was
thing.
too violent.
Yeah, they said it in that corridor video, and that's what I was going to say. So it's kind of interesting though to think,
Too violent.
um,
Fuck.
where it's kind of funny to see, like when things came out back then. Like it's amazing to think what people had ideas for back then to create these fictional characters. Like who you think about these characters we had, like Superman, Batman. That's like DC themselves. Like Marvel, I'm trying to think. I can't remember who some of the first ones were. Like Captain America, which like Captain America made sense. He was a soldier. He was strong. Like he was a symbol for the American
Right.
soldiers. Like he just had extra strength. Like that makes kind of sense. Okay, someone's strong. Well,
You're
someone's
just a super soldier.
10 times stronger. He's a super soldier, so 10 times stronger. Like that's on. You think like today's perspective, we can kind of understand the thing of like flight and like laser
Yeah, but back
beams.
then they're like, "What are you doing? Like,
That's what I'm.
how
That's
do you
what,
do this?"
that's what
Like,
that's what I wanted to get at. Like, so this is kind of the thing I wanted to bring up.
mm.
Was like in today's standpoint, we're used to seeing characters shoot laser beams out of their eyes, like in narratives, like people shape shifting and stuff. Like, but back then, the biggest like Captain America kind of made sense. It seemed reasonable in a design because, like I said, he was strong and he could run fast, so that kind of made sense.
What Nazis, but they could relate back then to that.
That's what I mean. So those things seemed a bit more relatable. But like, imagine being these artists back then to that point when we started getting to those areas where you had people going, oh, what if this person could, actually fly like Superman, like actually take off the ground and fly like
They
himself.
weren't too wacky though, like back then, like the 60s,
Or
70s,
yeah,
and all that comics. They weren't wacky, like they were within limitation, like still. But now they're wacky.
that's what I mean. Like it was interesting that they thought of like people could fly. Batman was just a dude in a cape, like disguise, and he was like solved crime.
Yeah,
And
people wanted to fly back from the Middle Ages, like they built like big contraptions, like it was a thing.
that's what I mean. So we already had things that were influenced through life because man was always trying to fly because they were influenced by birds. But like,
Yeah.
but where did influence come from when people started? This is what I was wanted to bring up was. I wonder where the influence started coming from when people started having the idea of shooting laser beams out of the eye. Like, who thought about shooting laser beams out of their eyes? Like, where did that
I don't know,
idea
that's
come
weird.
from? Like, was someone looking at a laser and going like, "What if that was coming out of my eyes, and it was really
Right.
hot?" Like, that's what I wanted to bring up. It's just like, what influenced these ideas? Like,
That's-
I wonder what do these influence these? Because nowadays we've heard those things in history, so we've got things to reference to influence us.
We did have one of those, remember? Early 2000s, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. He never shot web before out of his fucking body.
Exactly,
But
like
Sam Raimi's like, make him shoot web. Like
an actual spider shoots it out
like
of its
Raimi
body.
actually made him a spider. Like,
That's exactly it. Like he was actually influenced by the mythology of like, let's make it if he was actually properly like a spider projects it from his body. Why can't he project it from his body?
so why the wrist? Like,
I mean, better than the anus, but
oh, I've seen things. There's a game where it's a poop Spider-Man.
I
you
say
swing by your poop.
Corridor did a video of that as well, like
Hmm.
years ago, where they had what's his name shoot the webs out of his ass, which was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But like that's what I mean.
I
Like
just
it makes me think, like, look at all these characters compared to today, like, with so many variety of characters, because, like, you were saying as well, it's like, when we've talked before a few times, when you said, like, they should have ended, like, things from Endgame, you know, created their own characters, like, there's so many abilities now that all these characters have. There's, like, feels like there's
Yeah, some are
no...
the same though. A lot
That's
are
what
the
I'm.
same.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, there's no new abilities almost because, like, what would you do?
No, but there's other heroes who are different enough that they just don't use.
That's what I mean. There's that, but like, there's that. That's what I mean. Like, it's weird that we're at the point now where we've got everything basically
Game
tapped.
should have been a refresh.
But that's what I mean though. Like, it's interesting that we're at the point now we've got everything tapped. So there's no room to create anything new per se. If you think about it, like, there's no.
There is,
new...
just not superheroes, because there's only so much a body can, like, not just a human body, but even a mythical being.
That's what I mean. Like, it's interesting though that we had the point before where people were somehow weirdly influenced, where we had this open play field where people were being influenced to create these things, and now we're at the point where there's no room for new inventions of characters because all the abilities of everything have been used. You know, like, whatever you think of, there's some character someone's made, they have that ability, and it's crazy to think like now I understand because we've influenced, we had to go further. But like, it still amazes me to think like how these people came up with these ideas back in the
Nothing
day.
new really in the last like 20 years.
Yeah,
Apart from Raimi shooting webs with his Spider-Man.
like, that is a very original idea. Like, it's still, but it's a twist. Like, it's still the concept of Spider-Man shooting a web. It's just from himself. Like, it's a twist on it. Like,
Which never been done. Like, no one's
Yeah.
done that.
which is, that's what I mean. So like, it is interesting to see. Like, imagine like when they, that's what even thinks. Imagine when they were sitting down when they first created Spider-Man. Imagine, like, did they even pitch that at one point? Would you think if they?
I reckon said maybe just do it. Like,
Yeah.
he just did
Oh,
it.
he did. He wanted that. There's a thing that they were hesitant about it. And he's like, no, I want to do this. But like, imagine
Kind of
like,
sets it apart. Like, that's his.
but I was thinking, imagine the original pitch meeting, like, in the original days of like writing the comics. Would have that have been an idea when it came up? Like,
Nah.
we wouldn't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Would they sit around the office going,
I reckon they would have did it if it was like not just a web shooter.
no? But that's what I'm saying.
Because
Though.
how would a human body generate web?
That's exactly my point, though. But like, that's what makes me think is like I have these ideas and questions like when they sing around.
That was
board
laser
meeting-
eyes, I guess.
That's what I'm saying though. Like, would they thought like have goggles or not have goggles? Like, this is what makes me think like, what do these people have these ideas? Like, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
because Cyclops and Superman are pretty much the same thing.
Yeah,
Except Superman can control his, Cyclops can't.
exactly. That's why it has the goggles to help refine it, and control it. That's what
So
that's
it's
what I'm
like-
saying though. Like, it's interesting. Imagine being at those board meetings, like being back then in the 1970s in a board meeting, going, "We got this guy who crawls on walls. What else could he do? He shoots webs. So how does he
Well,
do that? So
Anything
like,
a spider does.
does he have a bracket? Does he shoot it from his like wrists? Does it like have? Does he have like a backpack? Like, oh, it would have been amazing to like imagine like, you know what I mean? Like, these things would have happened at some point. And I'm
How
like,
the fuck do you create Venom? Like, that's a whole new, like...
on top of that, again, here's the black goo. Like who thought? Were they sitting there?
Venom
was
can
someone-
do anything.
That's what I'm saying though. Was someone sitting somewhere and going, "Oh, that tar is bubbling away"? I'm like, what if that was a black? You know,
Because
you
he
know
can
what I
shoot
mean?
web. He can make an axe out of his arm. He
Yep.
can make a hammer. He can make anything.
And that's what I mean. Where
He
did
can
these?
shoot, like, projectiles and missiles and, like...
That's what I'm getting at though. Like, that's one of the biggest things is like, these people had these crazy ideas back then. What influenced them to come up with these ideas for half these
Dreams in it,
characters?
I reckon.
Like, it's just crazy. These.
Would have been dreams, like how Stephen King gets books. Like, he just dreams about it, then writes it.
Yeah.
Like,
But like, it's like this, whatever their day they went through that influenced their brain to have the dreams to think of these characters.
I mean,
Like,
Spider-Man makes sense because it's a spider but a dude.
yeah, he's a Spider-Man.
Just not with 8 legs and
Yeah.
8 eyes. But like, because I watched Venom 1 recently. I know I've never actually seen it before, apparently, because I don't remember it. But the Venom's leader dude, like,
Yeah.
he had all sorts of fucking different things that Venom had.
Mm.
He had like a lot of shit. Same as Carnage. He's a lot different than Venom too, but the same thing, just pretty much the same powers, but they're used differently.
Yeah, and it all comes down to
Like-
the host as well.
Yeah, but like, there's millions of those fucking parasites.
Yeah.
But like, I hope we get to go to that planet. Like Tom Hardy goes to that planet
Well, I
and
mean,
gets to.
the movies
That'd be
are
amazing.
leading back to the original, like, leader. Like, it is kind of heading down that
Well, he
route.
died
So there's a guy above that, technically. I mean, the Venom movies that did it differently, but how the comics explain it is kind of heading down that route.
because he was the leader because he's going to get the ship to bring all of them down to Earth.
Mm.
But like, he
It
stopped that and killed
it's a
him.
bit interesting how the Venom movie did it because technically, the weird thing is because how it's done. Technically, all those characters, like even the other one that was like the leader, is technically a spawn from Venom. Like Venom's the main one. Like in comic books, Venom's the main one, and then everything's a
They're all pretty
spawn.
much Venom. Like,
Yeah, they're all spawns from Venom because they interacted with different hosts. So it created once they interacted with that host, they created that new spawn because it was influenced. Like in the comics, it
Right.
was kind of funny because in it like how even the comics kind of retcon themselves. So in the comics, it's the Secret Wars. Spider-Man was just like they're at the war. One of the It's so dumb. It's so plain and simple how they first introduced Venom. It is kind of better that like it changed over the years, and it's changed so many times. But it came more similar to like in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man where it came from outer space on the spaceship. Like that became the more common narrative.
that happened in the Venom movie, didn't it? Too, like, come from outer space.
Pretty much. So that became the more
No,
common.
they found it somewhere, and then
They
they
found
took it to a
somewhere.
lab.
But basically, the more common narrative was the point where the soldiers were in like the space, not the soldiers, but the astronauts were in space, and it came back on the spaceship when it came. That became the new narrative in the comics and everything. That became
Yeah,
the new
that's how they
narrative.
did it in the Venom movie
So,
because
but
they found the stuff. They
yeah,
locked it up.
but in the
It got out.
it caused chaos.
I mean, Venom's not bad in that, though. I mean, he is, but he isn't. Like,
That's exactly it. But in
he's only
the
bad when he meets Spider-Man because Spider-Man rejected him. Like,
yeah
and then he got pissed
yeah
because he wanted the power. Like,
he tasted the strength. That's exactly it.
because that's why he licked the screen on the. I'm not going to spoil anything, but he licked the screen. Like,
Yeah.
he's
You
like,
can you can
"Ooh,
sense the
power," because he could sense that. I think
But
in some way.
in the comic books, one of the older comic books with the Secret Wars, basically how Venom came around was Peter was looking, he was doing something. Basically, what it came down to is he walked into the lab. He's like, "Oh, what's this machine? Oh, I can create something. Create a suit. Black suit comes out. He puts it on. It was the Venom suit. That's how the Venom suit was made because
Pretty dodgy.
I mean, things back then, the narratives were very basic. It's just like
Yeah. Now it's like you got to try and get it.
there's a whole narrative you got to build up. But then then they rewrote that. That ended up being how the Venom suit was done was through they rerouted it in a Deadpool comic. That Deadpool went into the lab beforehand, was like,
Deadpool.
"Ooh, I want a new kind of cool suit that looked like Spider-Man." And then he put this suit on and it's like, "Oh, but it's not, it's too black, I don't like this." And then he's like, whatever, and then he leaves, and then he's like, "Here, you can use the machine, Spidey," and then Spidey, and then that's rewritten the narrative, and it's just like, it's so interesting how
Messed up.
that's what I'm saying. So it's so interesting how narratives were one way, and then they kind of refreshed it up and had more of an explanation on down the track, and then explained more to it. And it's like, oh, okay, it's interesting, and that's like it's kind of funny how back then simple things like that was like, oh, I want a new suit, so let's just use this machine, and that's how they did things. Like things like that were the simplest way of how characters would appear. It's just like, oh, this guy is this, and then this is this happening, and that is like very basic stuff. It's just like, okay, and then now like things are more complex and very story.
I mean,
driven
Captain
and,
America makes sense. You put a dude in a thing to be a super soldier. There he
yeah,
is.
that's exactly it. So that's why it made sense for back then as well, because it's a very simple narrative. It's just like give him serum, he gets strong. Okay, same as Hulk. It's just like scientist gets angry. Hulk, like okay.
I mean, he blew up in radiation.
he
He
get
got
bulk.
he got big and green.
So like they were very simple. And then you can kind of see the characters got a little bit more.
They were too
depth.
simple, and then they just built off that. Like
Yeah,
just got more intricate and
yeah.
a bit more layers.
And it's kind of funny, like just to think, again, like it's interesting to think what they had thoughts of back then compared to now. But I know
Well, that's why I'm keen for the Venom 3. Like, is Spider-Man going to be in there? Is he going to be like a wrecking machine?
Thor, like I said, Thor: Love and Thunder is already heading down to that narrative of that Venom narrative, which people like unless you know your characters, because the big bad guy that's in Thor: Love and Thunder, I've said this before, is the henchman to the god of the symbiotes, or the father of symbiotes. His henchman is like, it's like, what? It's like we're jumping down that narrative already. Like, we're already heading
That
to
comes out soon, so
a
we're going to
big-
find out in a month or two.
a big Venom narrative already. That you've got the henchman, that's the right hand man to like the father of like the symbiotes, like the real like
Venom,
god
really.
of yeah, like he's like this whole guy, like he's a completely different guy, but like
Oh.
he spawned the symbiotes kind of thing,
Mm.
and like I said, his right hand man is the bad guy in Thor. It's like, well, shit, that's a bit quick to where we're going, because this is going to cause like a whole lot of chaos. Like,
I mean, not really, because we've still
I mean, they can still squeeze in a shit ton of movies, but like, we're gonna get closer to that
or
crossover
shows
real
or
soon.
something. But July or June it comes out, like it's a month or two.
So that's why I want to know what's going to
Whenever it
happen
said it
with
was
this
coming out.
big bad guy, like where they're going to go with this narrative to choose
Maybe
him.
it might just be a cameo from him, like he's in there, but you won't know until later.
Yeah.
I mean,
could be
people
a-
who read the comics would know who it is, but
So that's what I mean. It's very
maybe
interesting.
Venom's in that. Like maybe got Tom Hardy in that.
Maybe. Because it is interesting that they chose.
Maybe he got booped there, like boop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why it just has me interested that they chose.
He's not bad though, because Venom's not bad.
No.
That's weird. Like he's not really a bad guy.
I
He eats bad guys.
I definitely feel like they're gonna be it's gonna be a very like the whole Venom thing is gonna be a very misunderstanding kind of situation where like Spider-Man's
Venom.
I can see it's gonna happen where
You
like
have to see Spider-Man to be bad, really.
no, but what's gonna happen? I can see it where what I feel like is gonna happen for the third Venom movie is Venom's just gonna be the way Venom has always been. Spider-Man's gonna be like, "What are you doing? You're doing something wrong." And Brock's gonna be like, "No, I'm not. I'm not the bad guy. Like I'm doing." And he's gonna get into a fight, and he's gonna the whole time try to explain himself.
He's
But
gonna
Spider-Man's
switch.
just gonna think he's bad the whole time, and then then he'll get part
Well,
of it.
Eddie Brock is kind of bad because he's a bit of a rule breaker, and
Yeah, but he's not bad. Like he's an anti-hero.
no, he means good.
Like they've technically have skipped in a sense, because when it gets to that point with Eddie Brock, I mean, Venom had cleaned himself up from that whole bad guy situation. Like, it was weird because, like,
He's just trying to find a host at that point.
He
Like
has
he's
been
trying to
that
find a good
first-
host he could live from.
yeah, because I mean, technically at that point in time when it does first happen when it's bad, it is Eddie Brock, but Eddie Brock is bad at that time. He's more very angry and everything, and he's trying to be all like, ew. And then Peter
life
gets
sucks.
it, and then it goes back to him, but then by the time like Peter has it, and then by the time it goes back to Eddie again, like Eddie has reformed a bit. And
How
is
would
a
he
lot-
go with that micro suit now? Because he can control Venom if he
Hey?
like Doctor. Like he could control Venom like he did probably like
Oh,
Chuck Ock.
he would no, not even with or without that. Not even thinking about that, he can control Venom.
Oh,
He's Spider. Like that's
that's
the thing.
crazy, isn't it?
Like that's the thing. Like how Spider-Man is. Like that's the thing. They did a
I mean,
fair
Eddie
bit
Brock
more.
can control him as well to a point.
Oh yeah, yeah. But the will with that, like Venom has more will over Eddie Brock. But when it comes to Spider-Man,
It's
like
only
Peter
because he's a
Parker,
normal human. Like Spider-Man's a bit different.
he's got like that extra strength in him in the sense and stuff like that. He can actually tame.
He can lock him down further. And
That's why it has that more thing like we saw with Sam Raimi's one where he was all like, ooh, yeah, like it gave him an ego boost. It set off different endorphins in his body, so he was more like, yeah, I'm a ladies' man, I can do whatever the fuck I want kind of thing, It did that to him, so. But he had control over it. But it's kind of interesting, though, where a lot of the, like, that kind of stuff, it didn't really have a identity to itself. It was just a straight symbiote. But,
Yeah.
like, the Venom we have now in, like, film,
he got personality.
it is its own personality, which is great. Like, we've got something that's not just a
I
glob.
mean, he eats chickens and
That's exactly it. So we've actually got something that
he
has
eats
personality.
chickens and chocolate
So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
and people's heads.
But no, that's exactly it. So it's interesting to see what we had when it started. It just makes me think, like,
I mean, it's still all the same. It's just different iterations, just slightly.
I think
that's all it
there's
is.
so many variations. Like, there's so many variants. Everyone keeps changing, but it's just like I said. The main thing is it's just interesting to think back then. My main thing was
It'd be
like
nice to have more, like new things.
bring more,
eventually.
introduce more characters. That's what I said. It's good that we're seeing Gore in Thor: Love and Thunder, out of all characters to choose as a bad guy, because there's plenty of bad guys. Like there's plenty of bad guys you can choose
This
from.
isn't a spoiler, but even in Doctor Strange 2, you got the octopus thing on. What the fuck is that?
Oh, that was in What If?
Yeah, but like we haven't seen it in a Marvel movie yet until then.
Yeah, it's just a monster.
Yeah, it was just the thing. Cause I'm like, because I watched the trailer, I'm like, that thing looks cool.
Mm.
Kind of like, I mean, Suicide Squad did it better with their CGI, the big starfish thing. That thing
Oh,
was
that big
monstrous
Starro.
looking.
Yeah,
Yeah, that thing was
big
amazing.
Starro.
Like this thing looks cheap. It's just a little thing that they just chucked in there, I guess, as an enemy.
Yeah.
Like it looked cool, but like should be like big like Starro, like a massive
Oh.
fucking tentacle thing.
It's pretty big. It's actually pretty big.
Yeah, it held a damn bus up.
Yeah,
Like damn.
there's some scenes that really show its size off.
Yeah, I like how Wong just like fuck your leg. Just cut
So
it
for
off.
comparison, the eye, so maybe wide. It's like maybe a
It's not huge, but it's not small.
no, because I think from edge to
Or
edge
could take it down easy.
was the length of a person.
That's what I mean. Like it's not
It's
huge,
not-
but it's not small.
So yeah,
I think like Wong was fucking it up until he got caught. Then the trailer ended like, I wanted to see the fight.
it's a pretty good fight.
Yeah. That lady's someone, isn't she? She's a special person,
American
right?
Chavez.
Is she like she's got powers and shit?
She can her main power. I mean it's I don't know how much it's changed from the comic books, but her main power is she can multiverse jump.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, she can jump to the multiverse at any given
That's pretty
time.
cool.
Yeah, so that's her.
Yeah, because they had her in the trailer. I'm like, who the fuck is this random person they're trying to protect?
So I
They
mean,
don't protect anyone usually.
so if no one's really explained, I mean, it's not really it's kind of. I mean, it's not really a spoiler because that's the
It was in the
characters.
trailer that they put on YouTube.
They kind of
like,
showed it. I don't know if they explained in the end of the trailers. I haven't watched it, but
Nah.
that's her power. Her
They
power
just
is,
made her run away behind Doctor Strange.
is
and Wong
yeah.
and-
So her power is multiverse jump. So that explains the whole multiverse thing.
She just can't fight because she just kept running.
No, that's literally all she basically has is multiverse jump.
Yeah, she's useless.
So
She can die.
yeah.
Literally to that fucking octopus thing. I can't believe Doctor Strange just cut that bus in half. Didn't care what was behind him.
I know, it just soars, he just and it just goes straight past him. Don't even think like if it's gonna go.
There was
anywhere
people
behind.
there. They just luckily no one got hit. I don't think they just fucking went. They went sideways. He could have caught that. Like he just stopped it,
Yeah.
but he just.
I mean, I would have
Doctor
thought.
Strange is a dick,
I would have thought if in the middle of combat, it's like the bus comes at ya, the monster's still at ya.
and just chuck it back.
Blade, cut it, open portals behind you, go. It's like boom, and then doof, doof, and then just like have it saw in half. It's still projecting back, goes through two portals, and then drops back down on top of it. Like.
Or go one further, have a constant dropping.
That would have been but like I don't know, like I just
I don't get like with their powers, they could have took that thing down easy.
it's crazy.
Like, I get it's Disney.
And the thing too, I was gonna say about in the movie. So you know the Fortnite. Have you seen the Fortnite skin
Doctor Strange,
with the Doctor Strange and the extra things he has?
not the extra stuff.
So-
that I don't know.
So there's that thing which is actually it actually is, which I thought wasn't too sure, but it's actually a thing in the movie. Which I mean, it's not really a spoiler because it's
What that sword thing?
yeah. So when they craft and you can have a sword, they actually do that.
Yeah, that's what Wong did. Like
Yeah.
cut his arm off, right? His tentacle.
So he crafted a thing and he's like, what? He's like,
He's like, and he just.
I was like,
slice.
oh, that's cool. So they actually like kept narrative to that. Like I was like, okay.
Isn't that how Strange cut the bus nearly? That kind of
He
thing.
created
It
he created like a big
thing and-
blade. Yeah, like a big
Yeah.
saw blade. So I'm like, when you think about it,
He
it's
could
kind
have
of
portaled that somewhere.
but no, but it's like it's funny when you think about it, like the way they kind of do Doctor Strange at some points is like, okay, so they're doing this cast spell. And it's like, whoa! It's like blade cuts him, and then Wong's like sword. It's like, is that kind of like the Green Lantern then?
I mean, yeah, but that's off a ring. When theirs is just their magic.
I know. Well, I mean, he has the rings. They have their little rings as well. So,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
Oh yeah, they got the little like what Ned had.
yeah,
He
yeah.
could open portals and.
So that's what I mean. So I wonder if, like,
Oh,
besides
so without
that,
that, they're useless, really.
somewhat, yeah,
Oh, yeah, because they're not really magic beings. They just got a
yeah,
power, and then they got the rings to help.
yeah, it
Yeah,
channels
yeah.
it. So I'm trying to think, like, wonder what other. That's another thing I was thinking about. What other things
Because
could they create?
Steven's actually a doctor. Like he's a doctor,
Yeah, yeah.
not a magic dude.
So that's what I was thinking.
Uh,
So I wonder what other kind of like things could they create with that ability? Could they create like?
Why
Because
do I just think
you see
magic?
most of the time, like you see most of the time in the other things, like Doctor Strange is creating portals. Like every time you see him, most of the time he's just
There was a portal.
portal, Like okay, like what else you do?
I
But
don't
then,
think he can use his full power really.
but like
Like he shouldn't.
technically, I mean, I'm trying not to go to spoilers here, but technically in this movie you do see a lot more stuff happening with
What he
the
did for the bus and shit.
yeah. So like you are seeing more.
Well, he kind of has to fight because he fucked up.
So like that's making me think because I've never really seen much of it in the comics. So I've always just seen like magic, deflecting, shooting, like casting blades, like
He's more
throwing,
passive
throwing like discs and stuff that cut or deflect and stuff. Like it makes me think though. Wonder what other kind of
because
things you
he's
could
not
create.
invincible anymore.
It's like with that friggin' stuff. Like what kind of things you could create?
I don't. I know it's interesting, isn't it? Like, what's he gonna do? We don't know where he's gonna be in the next movie though either.
Because like
He could skip a bunch and then just come back way later
because
and just
I don't know if we've seen it,
whip
but
out
like
some new moves.
I know it's a thing, and I think it was a thing in Fortnite. But like, could you create a disc and like fly on it?
Like Krillin?
Like that's what I'm saying.
The
Like,
Shockdo disc.
or like place discs and like run across it, just like do, and just like run
I
across
don't.
them. Like,
Maybe.
what's the limitation?
How long do they hang around for?
That's what I mean. Like, I'm very curious. Like,
Because sometimes they disappear pretty quick.
I mean, these things could have happened in the comics. Like, I've never really followed Doctor Strange, so I've never really.
He's not interesting. Like he's more boring side character when you think about it.
Because yeah, I don't know.
Like he's just standing there, just chatting. That's it. He's kind of the wise head.
So yeah, so it's
Like,
interesting.
I don't know. Wong's more powerful, I think, though, isn't he? Really?
Here and there.
They've both got their own strength and weaknesses.
Yeah, like most characters.
Oh, wait, Wong's just a better one, I think. Like he has no personality, but he's got more personality by not having personality. It's weird. Like he's so serious.
Yeah.
When Doctor Strange is he's more on the comedic side. Like Scooby Doo that shit and he
he's
winked
very
at
like
Peter
very
Parker in No Way
serious as
Home and
well,
like
yeah.
winks about the spell. I'm like, he winked. I was like, would he do that?
I know. I feel like it's I don't know. It's weird.
Well, yeah, that's probably his own take. That's probably Cumberbatch just doing his own things now. Like,
Ad-libbing a little bit.
especially the Scooby Doo stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Scooby Doo's in that universe.
Well, that's exactly it.
They said something else too in Venom. They said another cartoon or something. It was crazy.
Oh, it's just like referencing stuff being.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, how?
I don't know.
Well, these things exist back then, like in them universes.
Always be self-aware.
Next thing I'm gonna mention, I think mine mentioned Harry Potter in one of the Marvel
that's
movies.
the big thing too, because like that's what the comic books were. They really established what was going on around them. They made them very self-aware of situations, and the
Especially the
media.
X-Men stuff.
So, being the movies, they've kept that tradition of being very aware of their surroundings.
But
They
Scooby
really,
too.
yeah. So they really self-aware themselves, like really establish them in to get. The
What would have been a
references.
better one? Would have been a Sherlock Holmes reference, not a Scooby Doo one.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's the closest nod on both. Like that was the not direct, but it's one of those things.
I haven't seen that Sherlock show, but apparently it's good.
It is good. It is good.
I mean, Sherlock Holmes to me is Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, no. See, I watched that before.
He played that so well.
Yeah, no. You watched that with. Oh, it's so good. Benedict Cumberbatch is so good.
And then again, two different takes because
Very different.
it's
Yeah.
more action for the Downey Jr. ones.
Yeah.
Like he's
Basically-
out like fighting and whatever else.
Benedict Cumberbatch version is basically a drug addict. So
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. one's just a self-brooding dude, I think.
And it's more modern as well.
I
Where
can't
that
remember.
I mean that one with Robert Downey Jr. is more like set in a time period
That's back in
where
the seven, back in the day,
yes, but
somewhere.
Benedict Cumberbatch is more modern, like modern era, but it's still the
Extreme
same.
to drug stuff.
Yeah, because he's like yeah, it follows the narrative of why he's like amazing brain and stuff.
Oh yeah, well, the Sherlock Holmes is just that in general. Like he's just smart.
And like it was
Like
basically in that it's like the drugs are more to help focus his brain because he's so like
ADHD.
yeah, it brings him down, like it levels him out basically.
Yeah,
So
that was kind of the other one as well, but he did something else. I can't
yeah,
remember. I haven't seen those for ages. Those movies are old.
yeah.
Like 2010 or
Because
so.
they needed the two of them, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a third one coming though.
There's supposed to be a third one for a while.
Yeah, apparently it's a good one, so they're taking their time, I think.
That'd be good.
Because he's up a good universe there.
Oh, what is this sneaky motherfucker?
Because that universe can do a lot of things. You've got Jude Law on that.
Yeah. Sneaky.
Juddee.
Well, you got us. What is this?
I don't know if I can hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear. What is this?
I can't hear him.
What is
I
this
don't know if
sneaky
this is working or not.
sneaking
He's
in?
muted.
Sneaking in on the podcast.
Can you hear me?
We
Not
can.
if you can hear me.
Yep.
All
Don't
right.
mute, Juddee.
I can't hear you, which sucks.
We've got an
I
invader
don't
on the
know-
middle
oh,
of
wait.
the. We've got an
Wait.
invader.
Hello,
in the-
Juddee.
We've got an
I
invader
can
in
hear
the
you.
middle of our podcast.
Boys.
Well, almost at the end, actually.
We're basically at the end of our podcast. Yeah.
Well, that worked good. You've been listening to another fine episode of the Beardy Bros podcast.
We went down there. We're like, "What is this?" Juddee just invading into the.
yeah. I was just jumping in. We just finished our podcast, and I was like,
Nice.
"Hey, the boys are on. I'm going to shoot in their podcast for a second."
Dirty motherfucker.
We just
That's
had
crazy.
a producer and director on, and
Yep.
she brought me over a DSLR camera, and I just brought it off her. So
Nice.
Damn, son.
yeah, it was a fucking banging deal. It's like fucking banging one.
Oh,
Fucking-
nice. Yep.
The lens is $600, and I was like, "How much you want for it?" She's like, "Oh, $400." I was like, "Sold."
Yeah.
So
Plus, you ain't got a damn road with it. Ooh.
Yep.
I was like, "Fucking why not?" How'd your podcast go, boys?
Oh well, we're still getting there. We've got that little bit of news we got to finish off
I
on.
mean, there was 45 minutes of just randomness that's for like 10 minutes.
That sounds like that.
Yeah.
Love it.
It was everywhere.
What do you what bit of news we got there left there, Jim?
I've got a few things.
We'll
But,
run those through.
the Batman podcast, which on Spotify, it beat out Joe Rogan's.
Well, I mean,
What?
it's been going down for a
Damn.
while. He's been in a weird slump.
Batman got taken down, took down Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Oh damn!
Yeah.
Probably won't last long, but like it happened.
Yeah.
Also, there was a Weird Al story movie
Yes,
coming out
with Daniel Radcliffe.
with Daniel Radcliffe. Yeah.
So keen for that.
What a weird. I mean, it makes sense putting him as it, but like, I didn't expect that.
Oh, I've been following that for a couple of years now.
It's
I
crazy,
can't
man.
see
Like
him in anything but Harry Potter.
a Weird Al.
It
like,
looks so
story.
good. It looks so good. Weird Al specifically wanted Daniel Radcliffe to play him.
Because it kind of looks like him a bit.
Yeah. And he just
Especially
liked-
with the moustache and the fucking hair. Also, the Nintendo Sports come out for the Switch, like the bowling and
Yeah.
they're breaking TVs again, like the
yeah,
Wii days.
I heard that. It's the Wii all over again. People have not learned from
Just
the
a
wrist
smaller
straps.
projectile.
It's all you need. Just put that wrist strap on and you're fine. But people are still not fucking. People are like, okay, people have apparently got mind wiped and forgot that you needed a wrist. Like, are you dumb?
Yeah, it's not like the Wii
like,
brought it out without it before it
The
happened.
Wii,
They thought
yeah.
ahead.
what is that? 10 years ago? Is it
No,
like
the Wii
15 years ago?
wasn't that that was optional, wasn't it? The actual wrist strap for the Wii controller.
Yeah, that was actually optional. But when you
Oh,
actually
was
get
it?
when you get your little clip on for the Wii remote that you're meant to clip on, like the little thing, it actually has it on it, like pre with it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah,
for
the
the
little
Wii.
lanyard for the Switch.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
for
got
the
them in my
Switch, yeah, yeah.
drawer.
But the Wii ones you
They-
had to put on yourself. It was optional. It's
I just don't get why they're breaking TV still.
had people not learnt? Like, had people not?
2007 all over again.
I mean,
I've never thrown
Seven?
it in all my years of
Nope.
playing the Wii. I've never lobbed the controller.
that's why I've never been worried about having it on the thing because I've
Never.
never just like you're holding something, you're holding that. How are you like? Are you not
Yeah.
clenching onto that? You're just like, oh, like you just got that loose in your hand, and you're just like lightly holding like a pen, like so you're not holding on a pen. You're just like, oh,
Especially with the
Oh,
like trigger
oh, like-
motion on it. They're like,
Yeah.
it's physically nearly impossible. Like, how did you?
I don't get it. I don't
Yeah,
get
because
what
your
people
finger
are
goes
doing.
on top of it, and you got to. I don't get it, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel sorry for them because.
no, I don't. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're
I
dumb.
mean,
Yeah, I agree.
You literally can't
yeah,
help
I
dumb.
got nothing.
You can't help dumb.
I got nothing for that. Also, Clippy's coming to Halo in some form. I don't know what it is.
Was it
But
the
Clippy,
banners and
little-
whatever it is? The little Windows help.
Apparently, it's like cosmetic stuff. So, yeah. But instead of Clippy, make some fucking maps and game modes.
I know.
I
I don't.
You said
the
it, John.
game Unpacking.
Yep.
That's coming to PlayStation 4 and 5 May 10th.
Hey.
That looks
Shame you
boring
can't
though.
get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, right. Sorry out there.
John's just
And
flaunting
all-
with his PS5.
I should have just put the camera like there it is. And Square Enix sold off 3 developers, or
Yes.
3 groups.
It's crazy.
Eidos Montreal, which made Guardians and Tomb Raider and Avengers and stuff like that. I think.
Did you see?
Crystal Dynamics.
Oops.
What was that?
That was my phone again.
That's like
Holy
a big slap.
Jesus Christ!
That's like them
Still
Sandy
alive. I'm
farts.
sorry, everyone's ears.
Oh my god, that was horrendous.
Some other the Western developers, which
Yeah.
is 1,100 developers. That's crazy.
Yeah,
For
no,
300 and something million.
there was actually an article I saw following because you know how they want to go down the route of like NFTs, blockchain, and all that stuff.
Have you seen what happened though?
Yeah, did you
Imagine
see the follow-up
those
story?
NFT. That'd be sick.
There's a lot of follow up that NFTs and that have really gone.
Well, not just that, but the one that they were investing
Even
in.
crypto's gone down, and
Oh.
Bitcoin. That's all gone.
Yeah, crypto's fucked. My crypto is bad.
Yeah,
Everyone hates it.
it's a solid resource. It's because of what's been happening lately with the scams. People are
Yeah.
ruining it. Like they're basically trolling the system,
Mhm.
and it's fucking it up for a lot of people. But those that are big investors, it's kind of smart for because they will bounce back up. But it's being smart when
It's
to
not going to be
invest
mainstream soon.
because it's hey.
I said it's not going to be as easily accessible soon. Like it's going to be very limited
Well, it's
because people are going to keep scamming. People are going to
you
keep
got-
doing it.
It's basically the scams. The worst are in the NFTs. And that's why I was very hesitant for NFTs.
NFTs are scams.
You can't
The way they
use them
do
for
it.
anything, can you? It's just
No,
sort of
no.
like a
It's
sale
it's a
and profit
currency
thing.
it's a currency hold. So like I said, it's like a dollar. It's like a note. So that's why we say to
Yeah.
everyone, NFT is like a note. It's and it's just holds the currency. But people are he's just chowing. What are you eating? Is
So
that
it's just a bit of a-
Pizza.
pizza? And that's exactly it. Like it's just interesting that people are creating these false things, going this, and basically what it's coming down is like this is an NFT. You can buy it for $1,000. Oh, sweet! I'll invest behind this. Oh, guess what? It actually wasn't anything. You've just given me money, and you've got nothing in return. And that's the thing, and that's hard now because, like, Smurfs very like, oh, and it's like you can't get into NFTs now. Like, you would have had to have done it when it was like actually early stages when it was a thing because people trusted NFTs.
There's no point.
And people weren't ruining the concept of them. And now that gaming's trying to get into it,
Yeah, I've never heard of them until like this year
yeah. See, I've been following crypto for a while
or
now,
last year.
and NFTs.
No, I mean
and
like
stuff.
NFTs. I've never heard of them until recently.
Yeah, NFTs have been around for the last 5 years.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
See?
they've been around for a while. It's
People got hold of them now, just willy nilly, and they're every fucking where.
It's because they picked up and the board monkey and stuff. But like that's going off again. But like yeah, with the Square Enix, it's the worst because they were looking whatever blockchain that they were going to invest into with the NFTs and stuff. that like dropped tremendously.
No, but also them developers had to go. Like they were going to sell them anyway.
Yeah, but it was funny that
They lost 200 million on games like from them developers.
But it's just funny, like as they sold them off to like the other developers, it's kind of for those
They're
developers.
still fine though.
No, that's what I'm saying. For those developers, it was good that they sold off at that time because it helped with them to move on. Because if they hadn't sold off then, and this slump while they're investing in the NFT market and everything dropped, it would have ruined everyone else as a
Put 'em
whole.
out.
So it's good that they were gone first, and then now there's slumps happening while they're trying to invest because there's nothing for them to lose because they've sold everything off. Which is, thank God, like for those companies, it's great, you know. But for Square Enix, like the sole point of Square Enix is like you're fucked. But I
Not
think,
really. They just won't do it now.
oh, I think they're still.
Well, they'll
trying
make their own other thing. And
What realistically,
who
like I've
knows?
said, what they need to do is, and that's the problem, is because NFT is defined under the one concept. Gaming developers and stuff like that, if they want to get into this, they need to create their own new system
within the limits.
Yeah,
right?
and basically make it where it's based technically around microtransactions and their own.
I think that's maybe what they've done though, because
It needs
hence
to-
why they
yeah.
announced it.
Well, the problem is they're trying to bounce off existing blockchains so people could use their like Ethereum to invest into the games and stuff like that. That's what they're trying to do.
They're gonna
And that's
cut
the
that out
problem
then and just keep
because
going
then
with
if
their
Ethereum
own.
goes down, then they're screwed. If Bitcoin goes down or if Dogecoin, whatever they go with, is fucked. I mean, Dogecoin's shit anyway. Like, there's nothing to that anyway. That's like,
Mm.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's
fuck.
fucking yeah.
but like
But
that's
if
the
it went
problem.
high and you owned it, fuck.
Yeah, and that's the problem that they're going towards. Like, oh, this is the new thing, and that's why there's this drop as well. Is because all these new, like, all these big companies are trying to get into it, which is bringing everything down. It's like if companies were trying to get into blockchains, then these things would stay up. It's because it's
It was better when it was
corporations.
niche.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. It's because it's become mainstream in corporations, and that's the big
Mainstream
problem.
people think is good. Mainstream is shit.
No, it ruins everything.
Stay away from mainstream.
I mean, mainstream's good for some things, but not everything.
Like mainstream games are trash. Music,
Yep.
movies. Now, the online currency, it's
Yep.
trash. Like it.
And that's exactly it. It just goes down
People
this.
just flood the market with stupid, underdone things,
And that's
which makes give it a bad name.
it's yeah. It's
Shit.
just gonna be bad, and I know we're gonna see it.
Yeah, shit.
Especially in the next year or something, we'll start seeing.
Yeah, but
what they're gonna
NFTs will be gone soon. It would just be for the specific people who.
I
the
mean,
rich.
it's hard because like
Yeah,
I said,
for the-
NFT
yeah, for
is
the rich.
still yeah. I
I'll
mean,
buy a Beardy Bros.
Which
NFT.
wouldn't be bad.
not well. See, not really. Still for the rich because you can still log
Well,
on
Jim
and create
Carrey,
NFTs.
NFTs.
Like I can still create NFTs. I can create cheap NFTs. I can sell NFTs for like 10 cents if I want to.
Mm.
Like there's nothing stopping me because I sell it for 10 cents. The gas.
Yo, no
fees,
one's
they're
gonna
low.
go ew NFT and not do it. Like
Oh, like there's
Hopefully.
there's still weird niche markets where people will still buy it. It's just there's these weird ones that there's people making think that you're buying more with the NFT, like you're getting this thing, but then you're investing in a game or you're investing in
not.
this product, and it's like you're not investing in anything. And then people are
It's pointless.
buying these things for thousands of dollars, and when they're actually getting, they're not because they're making it's like transferring the Ethereum straight to their account, but they're not. It's so bad. It's the same scams where people were like, "Oh, I spent my life savings of my cryptocurrency on this investment, and I lost my life's like my home loans." Like, why did you spend a home loan's worth of fucking crypto on a fucking scam? Like,
Yeah,
You're a fucking
you're
dickhead.
fucking bound to get fucked.
Like,
That's your own fucking
yeah,
stupid
don't complain
fault.
about it. It's your own stupid fault, you dickhead. Like, people are just dumb. Honestly, the best thing about these things personally is it weeds out the dumb, and then they go, "Oh shit, I've been scammed. I'm not going to do it." Great. Don't come back. The people that are smart will stay and know how to ride the wave. So, I mean, with any of these things, just let the dumb suffer and weed themselves out and get, turn away, and then everyone that knows what to do will be left.
Yeah, then there's new people who want to do it and they do the same fucking thing.
It's worse
Because
because,
there's billions of people, bruh.
well, that's that
You only
thing.
get a little bit of a time.
And the biggest thing is definitely the scams. Scams are the worst. Anywhere people
Tons
will
of
find a
scams that happen
scam.
every second,
fuck.
man.
Yeah.
John's t-shirt every time he moves gives the rock a fucking squished face.
The big meme there, like
Yeah, we've been
Missing the nose. Love it.
it was like Jason Statham at one point, like that one. Jason Statham.
It does too. If he like, yeah, if he didn't have like a beard, the stubble that he has.
yeah. I know it's pretty funny. But no, it's just crazy. And I am getting kind of tired though, seeing it a lot because people keep going on about. It's like, well, if you stop falling for these things, because that's the problem. People just keep thinking crypto NFTs,
That's why I
make money
don't do
quick,
it.
make money quick, make money quick.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not.
It doesn't
Takes
happen.
years.
Exactly. It's like shares.
Takes
And that's what
decades,
people
really.
don't think. It's like crypto is the exact same as the stock markets. Stock markets are a long time investment. Crypto is a long time investment. People just assume, oh, I'm gonna put this in because yeah, Bitcoin blew up, but that was like over like 2 years for it to blow up. But you know, people just assume that's gonna happen again. It's not. That was
Takes
a
way
one,
longer than
that
that.
was a spur of the moment thing where people had $40, you know, and it blew up and it became like 400, you know, $400,000 or whatever the fuck it was, you know. And people
Yeah, that's
complained
right.
like, oh, I bought a pizza and now I could have had thousands, you know. No one knew
Like
that was
I'll
gonna
admit,
happen.
I fucking I put $100 into what coin did I buy now? Fucking Solana.
Solana, yeah.
And then within 2 weeks, I'd already made double that, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, "Fuck me, crypto is sick! Like I'm gonna pump some money into it." And I pumped it in. Now I'm fucking in the minus. I
Yeah,
should
and
have
that's the
sold
thing
when it was
because
at its peak.
at the moment it is pretty dead because, like I said, everything's being scammed, so people are pulling
Is
out.
that the one you said just went like a couple of days ago? You
Yeah,
just
like
lost, like it just dived.
it went up, and I was like, "Well, surely it's gonna go up a bit more," but it just stopped, and then just went
Yeah, because
straight down.
mine's low at the moment. So I go through crypto.com. I use the app. So usually
Yep.
when I look at the total balance, because there's the extra balance I usually put there going of the or if you sign up you get this bonus, but the bonus always sits there in my account. Usually it sits at about 100 between 135 to about 150, 160 in the balance I have. At the moment my balance is sitting at $85.
Yeah, see,
That's how
mine's
much
sitting
it's
at
dropped.
51, 55.
So, I mean, technically, I don't have that much invested. I've only invested maybe $20, $30, but it's down low at the moment. Like it's dropped, but that's because everyone's either those that are new that have invested are freaking out and are pulling out that have like signed up for crypto in the last maybe year or 2 years. Like the ones that have been there for like the last 5 to 10 years, they're still staying because they
Yeah,
know
they're in for
how
the
it
long
works.
haul.
They're
Those,
riding the wave.
yeah, those that are like the last year or two, a lot of those are freaking out. They're pulling out.
And it just
So
makes it worse.
exactly it. So it's just gone back up by $2. Okay,
But
weird.
then the rich people are like, good to pull out because people will be back, and I'm going to ride this wave to the rich.
That's exactly
Because
it.
the more
Like,
people pull out, the less it's worth, the more
like,
they buy, and then fucking
because
next month they're fucking living in a mansion.
I've invested in all kinds of things. Like one I invested in, I put $2.50 in just for a laugh. I put small change in, and I put $2.50 in, and ever since it dropped, I barely crack $1.30. So I've lost money
Yeah.
there. But it's funny looking at the moment, it dropped down low, and there's a massive spike where it shot back up by like a couple of cents. But it's funny look in the charts. What's this other one? I invested in like, what's that, $6 there. That one's now dropped down to $2. So that's how much I've lost until it bounces back up.
See,
Ethereum,
the bloke across the road from me, he's the one that told me to get into crypto. And he's like, buy Solana, it's going to peak.
yeah.
So I did, and he went on holidays, so he couldn't tell me to sell. And
Oh,
then he put 65 grand into it.
Oh,
And then his mum was like, I want to put some money into it as well. And his brothers and sisters were like, no, you're not fucking doing that and shit. Because she's like 80 something. And they ended up doing it anyway. And they walked out with like 130 grand between them. And then, yeah, he's like, buy Solana and it'll peak. And I was like, righto. So I did it. But yeah, I couldn't see him. And like, because I was new to it, I was like, when do I sell? Like, what the fuck? Like,
you
it's
gotta,
up
yeah,
high.
you gotta watch
Do I
it.
sell now? And then I was like, nah, surely it'll keep going. And yeah, no, dipped in the ass.
Yeah, you get used to the
That's
peak points.
Yeah.
Because I
So
was
now,
following.
as soon as I make my money back, I'm just going to sell it.
Yeah, once you see and get back up to that nice point, like, yes, yeah, sell if you feel like it, or sell some of it, or most of it, all of it, whatever. Like, I just put small change in just for laughs, usually, and just watch the waves, and if it does, then I put more into it.
Yeah, heaps better to play with chump
Like, it's
change,
definitely
really.
very low at the moment, because the main ones are, like, Bitcoin.
Just don't get trapped doing it all the time.
Yeah, and then also
Yeah,
that
that's
is
right.
Ethereum. Ethereum's like the new main one that's connected to a lot of things, which are your
Yeah.
NFTs and stuff. NFTs are connected to Ethereum. But like that's been all over the place at the moment. Like I originally invested in only like what just under $5 into it, and that's now sitting at like not even $4. So that's how low it is
Yep.
at the moment. Like it's shocking. But the biggest ones that I was getting into, which were what this is the ones that kind of I guess what must have influenced video games to get into NFTs. So there's because Ethereum kind of sits on that for most NFT based games like or blockchain games is Ethereum. But there's new ones now, which well not new, but there's like Oasis, Sandbox, and Ripple. They're used by other mediums that based off NFTs and stuff as well. And I invested in those, and they've all dropped as well. So the ones that are very NFT video game kind of, which is what's trending at the moment with what's going to shit, is what's shitting because people are freaking out with it, so they're all losing their value. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
it's very much like the stock market because if anything happens with a company, everything turns to shit. The stocks drop, so people start panicking and start selling. So it's the same kind of reflection. Because I mean, there's a few games I've got like that are blockchain games, which the purpose of NFT blockchain games for like mobile games or computer games is you play the game, you earn like currency while you're playing, which then earns you back more cryptocurrency. But what you're doing when you're playing that game is you're helping, like, because like basically crypto, like the crypto miners was the whole point of how they mined. They were basically being servers. So when people were using like crypto, it would bounce through them. So then it would help speed the whole burning process. So then they would get coin
A
back.
percentage of it.
Yeah, while they're burning. So that's why people did like crypto farming, and because that's now died a fair bit as well. That's another strong point as well because they've changed the way farming has changed as well. So that's what these new games were doing is they were kind of breaking away from being very GPU farming to become more video game farming. So while you're playing these games on your phone or on your PC, they were the new way of doing it. And that's what these like NFT games were. And these companies now are seeing it the wrong way. And it's just like, well, you would have to make your game very reliant on
quick
these
money.
blockchain. And you need, while you're playing these games then, you need to be earning the currency while you're playing, which then will go to your current, like your wallet and stuff. Like, and you're like, it's this very weird area. And so I'm like, why is Square Enix and Ubisoft trying to get in these NFT blockchain markets? Because then you're making your games very reliant on players to be burning these currencies that you aren't earning because you're grinding out for someone else, like a different network. And that's why I'm like, do they understand what they are doing? Like, because that's not how they
They
seem to be
would,
wanting
but
to
they're
do.
doing it wrong
Yeah, like what they're trying to do
for
is
the
not.
wrong reason.
Yeah, like they want to make basically what they're wanting to do is make more money for themselves. It's a new way of doing microtransactions is what they're going to be getting at. But people have the assumption because what people know NFTs for is completely different. And it's just wrong to do the new money grab system because everything has a battle pass. Now the next big thing will be like, oh, these items are exclusive to you, but you have the option to sell that item, at this certain value because that's what our economy is value in this game. This is what the economy is worth. You can sell this item for 1,000 in-game currency dollars or whatever. It could be $1,000 real world, but it's like, are you gonna be able to redeem that somehow? I guess you can, but like, what? Like that? I don't. It's just, it's
I
just
mean,
frustrating.
yes to a point and no to a point. Like, don't do it.
I feel like it's going to get crazy because it's going to create problems where someone goes, "Oh, I've got this thing, haha," and it's like, "Oh, someone hacked my account and I had like $27,000 worth of loot, and now my account's been hacked." Or news headline: Family is killed in mass craze hysteria as guy raids house for dude's account over video. But you know what I mean though? Like people are going to get doxxed next. I feel like because this dude had like $50,000 worth of loot, his fucking house gets raided into and his console stolen, or his what's gonna what you create these weird because people do anything.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Like,
You might have fucking 30 grand on your fucking console that, like, is easy to take.
That's exactly
Yeah.
it. Like,
So,
it's
yeah,
just,
that's a good point.
it's these things I think of, and I'm like, do they not think of these things that could happen? Because people have done, like,
Later.
stupider things for less.
Fuck no. Why would they bother?
Like,
It's not their house getting
yeah,
done. They don't
exactly.
give a
It's not
fuck.
their thing to worry about, but what, next minute someone will try and hack into the thing and steal, like,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
it's just frustrating, but it's just all these things I think of when they think of these things.
That's
Like,
how the world goes. It goes through trends and then it goes.
exactly, it's not going to work. It's gonna.
No. Ubisoft approved that.
Ugh.
People hate it. They took it away.
They're still
They
trying.
hated the idea of it and took it away.
Oh, they're still trying to do it.
Yeah, but in a different way. But that's not working either.
No. That's the biggest problem. Like, as soon as everyone started getting into it, like McDonald's trying to get into it, and as soon as companies try getting into it, that was the whole point of crypto, was to break from the system, was to break away from the corporations, and then corporations are trying to get into it. It's like, that's the whole purpose of these things, is to break
Yeah.
away from taxes and corporations and the government. Like, that's the whole purpose of it, was to.
Wait till the government starts doing NFTs.
Oh,
Oh my fucking god. Imagine that. Centrelink NFTs.
It'll fucking happen, bro.
Fucking good if it keeps going.
Oh, it's just crazy. It's just fucked.
You get more than that, you get fucking. Oh my god.
2 episodes
I don't
in a
wanna-
row, boys. What am I doing here?
What are you
I mean,
doing,
we're
bro? I know
putting it out
we're gonna wrap this up shortly anyway. But it's funny that you stuck it in.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, they're on there. I'm like, they're definitely doing the podcast now.
Yeah.
Shoot in there, say g'day.
We're on time tonight, like 8 o'clock on the dot, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
fucking killed it.
I got cold pretty quick.
I know, I'm feeling that.
It's ridiculous, I'm freezing. I got the heater on. I was like, this year, no heater, but caved to 2
I
days.
think I
in a
put my
row.
damn jumper on
Oh, that's crazy.
or jacket, one of them.
But I might be coming up to Brisbane next week, maybe, possibly.
Oh yeah.
Busy.
So, yeah, I got a funeral up there, so
Oh,
see what happens.
Oof.
jeez.
But yeah, might go top golf.
Might go top golf.
Make a little holiday of it.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, I'll see how I go.
Yeah.
Whether I go or not.
Well, yeah, let us know.
Let
I
him
guess
know.
Hopefully,
I'll be
by then.
struggling to catch up with anyone else. So.
But no. Anything
Definitely
else?
Wookie. I got nothing.
Got nothing else? No, well, I think that's a good time to
I
start.
mean,
wrapping
I
up.
did have one thing, but I forgot it.
Forgot it.
You're almost at fucking wizard spec beard, John.
I know. he's
Pardon?
getting there.
You're almost at wizard spec.
You need that shirt that has like the different like levels for the beards.
That would be cool. You should both get those. That'd be fucking so sick.
See the length.
Say like every 10th episode, you both wear them and you can just compare the lengths over 10 weeks. That'd be sick.
What?
Fuck you guys and your beards. I can't grow shit. Legit, I haven't shaved in probably like a month.
He get a big moustache, does.
That's all I got. So shit.
You gotta grow the whole thing out, Juddee. The trick is to don't touch it.
Don't touch
Yeah,
it.
but I can't. I just look like a homeless person.
You gets that point at first, then after a while it gets better.
Hey, you still gotta trim it. You still gotta like trim the sides up and like make them like
What?
It's funny because you both look so different without it. Like if I seen you without it, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I can send you a picture of me without a beard.
It's fucking crazy. I just can't imagine you without it. It's
Yeah.
I've seen Daz with like half a beard, or not even half a beard, so I can imagine Daz.
Half
With
a
John,
beard.
I'm just like,
Oh,
I can't
I
imagine.
definitely look really weird without a beard.
I got baby face. That's why I got my beard.
I remember one time when I was doing a cosplay, and I was trying to tidy up the beard just so it was nice and short, and like it wasn't long anyway. Like it was never like this long, but it was like a nice kind of length. But I was trying to tidy it up, and I was like trying to trim it back, get a nice like short like low cut, and I fucked it up, and I was like, oh fuck. So I was fucked. So I'm like, now I have to shave it off, and
Yeah,
I
you have to
shaved it
keep
off, and I
going.
was like, no. And I looked so weird and different, and
You have to at least even it all out, like make it the same length.
and
Uh,
Al will attest to this. Like, like this was before we got together, and it was at like a cosplay meet. And I rocked up and I was like, "Hey guys!" And like, who the hell is this person? Because they were used to only seeing me with a beard, and I'd shaved it off. And I'm like rocking up, like, "Hey guys, how everyone doing?" And like, "What the fuck is this guy?" And they're like, "Is that Dale?" I was like, I was a completely different person. I was like, "Oh my god."
Damn,
Sounds like Dale.
Dale.
Is that Dale? It sounds like Dale. Oh god, he's coming. But yeah,
It
it's
sounds
so,
like him. It looks like him.
it
Oh, it
must be.
doesn't. Fuck.
My
My brain.
brain. Anyway,
My damn brain.
Well, I'm glad that I did this little test because now I know I've got an idea of how we can do a collab. So
that's all right.
and how I
Just
can
like this.
record. So it's yeah, exactly like
yes,
this.
that's exactly it. So that's a little sneak peek you guys get at this on this episode. A little sneak peek of what we look coming towards us in the who knows future some point.
Yeah, I
Way
want to make it
in the
happen
past.
soon.
Cross
Whenever you're
collab.
free, even maybe next weekend or something.
Yeah.
In the multiverse.
Because next weekend's my last weekend off for a while.
Yep. Yeah, we could try and do that.
Oh.
I got
So
the markets during the day, hopefully.
Yeah, there's
and then
fucking no stress. If we can't do it, we can't do it. We'll do it another day.
I gotta be cheeky. I gotta go down the. I'm being. Is it okay? So I wonder if
Cheeky?
this is a cheeky hustle. So at Kmart, I don't know if you guys go to Kmart that often.
Fucking love Kmart. We went there today and got these fucking chairs.
So I'm thinking of doing a cheeky hustle. So I'm thinking of going to Kmart. I don't know if you ever looked in their nice their aisles of candles and stuff like that.
Oh.
And they have like cheap dollar candles. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
buying a stack of them, peeling all the stickers off of them, making my own new labels, and then selling them for $2.
It's all good and well, just don't get caught.
Yeah.
It's just like, look, here's my candles.
Some guys like, what you knowing if I was to do that, the guy that made that candle and sold it to Kmart would walk past and be like, "Really, motherfucker?" It's like, really?
Yeah.
Anyway, here's your cease and desist dismiss letter.
I mean, nothing bad. It's just like, get rid of him or else.
Like
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like, what's the line of like? Because I imagine there's so many people that do stuff like that. Like,
It's just get rid of
yeah,
him or you're
100%.
getting a big fucking bill.
but like people
Like, I've-
buy and resell stuff all the
I've
time.
got
like,
mates that do engineering and stuff, and they'll buy, say, a kit off a car that they haven't worked on yet, but they want to start doing it. They'll buy a kit off another mob. They'll send it to their designer. The designer makes them and everything like that, and then they just rebrand them as theirs. It's like, it's kind of smart. It takes a lot of work out of it, but if you can do it cheaper than the other person, it's the same quality product. Well,
yeah.
even
Right.
not cheaper, like some people prefer to buy off you, like your candles, you're making a buck. It's fucking pretty good overall, really.
Yeah, because I was like thinking, like I don't want to be overpriced because
If you
I'm
sell
not.
20 candles, it's $20, man.
Yeah,
But
that's
even if
exactly
it's 250, 280, you're still making pretty decent money.
Yeah, because I was making my own, and my candles are pretty good. But then I've got to like trying to find the wax is tricky at points, and then like buying the tins to put the candles in, and
My
you know,
mum used to buy it in like a big bag of like wax
Oh.
beads
yeah.
and then melt it down and make candles. I was like, fucking yeah.
So
it's
kind of
just
like
oil
when
and
you get the
shit.
wax, you just melt it up in a little thing and...
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
I just chuck in
chuck
a
a
mug.
couple of drops of oil and stuff.
Ooh.
I what I do is I got a mug that I use as my craft mug. So I just get the wax, pour it in the mug, chuck it in the microwave, nuke it, pull it out, pour it, done.
Can you imagine doing that and you fucking make it explosive?
But I mean,
Put too much in there.
it's one of those
Oh,
things.
God.
Because like there was like one I laughed at because you go to some places and the price of stuff makes no sense. Because I was looking at
Actually went to me mate's
Child
missus
labour, bro.
place
You
the
gotta
other
pay
day.
that.
And she's got the sickest candle I've ever seen in my life. Like, you know, how you've got like a normal wick, it's just straight up.
yeah.
This wick was like a long fucking thing. Like, it was just burned the whole way down like a fucking wall.
Damn.
Oh, like
Flame. I was like,
the-
that's fucking sick.
It's like the wood wicks or whatever they are. They're like the thin. I think it's like
Yeah, I think, yeah.
they're slow
yeah.
burning. Yeah.
And it was like just a
Paper thin.
length of flame like that long
Yeah.
instead of just a tiny one in the middle. I was like, that's cool
yeah,
as shit.
they're the new wood wicks kind of things. They're like a thin piece of wood and they burn at a nice pace. They look really cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Fucking sick.
I've been getting into it a lot lately, so I've been experimenting, making my own different like scents and stuff, trying to like figure out like how to do different things. Been doing it off for
You
a
should
while.
make fucked ones like body odor and fart and fucking.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like how people seem to capture a lot of the scents and stuff.
Yeah, there's a real good one that Airwick make. You can buy it at Woolies, and it's like if you light it in the house, it just smells. It makes the house smell so good. But then you go to Kmart and do the same, and then just not so potent.
Mm,
Right.
exactly it.
Whatever they're doing works. But yeah, I'd say do it, Daz.
Yeah,
I mean, at least try it.
that's exactly it.
Exactly. I'd do it. You just gotta find out how much your labels cost you per candle, and then away you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Then
trying
you
to
set your price.
be smart about it. Got to do the small little hustle, make some extra bucks on the hustle.
Who are you smelling candle?
Maybe you could put like real tiny like 0.2 of a writing and be like rebranded candle from Kmart in the bottom.
I mean, it's gonna be the
Hey,
labor of
bud.
me sitting there, like cleaning the mugs, the
The
candle,
label
like
off and
label
shit.
off.
As long as they're like a clear label, it'll come off easy. If they're like a paper sticker, it'll be a pain in the
yeah,
ass.
The fucking rips halfway you taking it off.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna soak them
exactly.
usually or something. But
That's
anyway,
horrible.
$1.80 a candle to fucking $6 because you spent fucking 4 hours trying to clean the candle up.
One thing I didn't get when you go to EB games and that they put the stickers on the fucking cases and you can't get
yeah.
them off.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, I got it, and then one bit just tears off. I was like,
yeah.
I think that's so when you go to trade it back in, they know that you've already purchased
I mean,
it
you
from
can get
there
it off
for
pretty
this price.
easy, but with heat
You
and
can,
some
yeah.
alcohol stuff rubs in. But it's like some stickers are just easy to come straight off. Some do, some don't.
Yep.
But anyway,
Pretty sure the
Sitting
next
there.
door neighbor is driving a golf cart around.
Hey,
The next door neighbor is driving a golf cart around.
at this time, at 10 o'clock,
A
Yeah.
petrol one, yeah.
a petrol golf
oh
cart.
god. I think on
We're
that
going to
note,
work.
people riding golf carts around. On that note, I think we should wrap it up, Jim.
Wrap her up. Yes. And we even got Juddee for the end of it. How's
I
that?
know,
Yeah.
with the bogan yak.
But yes. On that,
Yeah.
thank you, Beardies and Beardettes, for joining us on episode 19. And I'm lucky Daz said that because I was going to say 18.
Damn.
But as always, we hope you had a good time listening, watching, whatever it is. But we have been Dale and Jim with cameo from Juddee.
Yeah.
Sneaky pop in.
We've been the Beardy Bros, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.
Fuck yeah, man.
It feels weird sitting there. Like, I fucking hate it.
Oh, what the shit? I did not notice that.
I'm sitting on the fucking chair, bro.
What the fuck? I did it the whole time. It still
So,
looks
like,
like you're
everything got
standing
big?
up. It looks like you've just got the back of the chair resting against you. Oh shit! I did not notice you were sitting down the whole time.
That's what.